Close your eyes and picture your life now with $50 million in your bank account. Feel the weight of that truth settling in. As those three words echo in your mind, I am abundant, they carry the power to shift your entire reality. Repetition is not just a technique, it's a doorway. When you speak them consistently, morning, noon, and night, you bridge the gap between your current programming and the new identity you're choosing. Now, lean into the emotion behind those words. Let gratitude swell in your chest. Allow excitement to course through your veins. That emotional coherence is the amplifier that sends your intention out into the field. Without emotion, thought is powerless. With emotion, thought becomes magnetic. You're no longer just affirming money. You're summoning its energy into your life. Act from that place of already having. Walk through your day as the person who knows the money is yours before any statement shows it, before any bank notification arrives. Believe first, then the physical world catches up. That's how creation works. We think it, we feel it, and then we see it. But notice the habits you're leaving behind, habits of lack, doubt, struggle. You're breaking free from repetitive patterns that scream and not enough. The moment you speak, I am abundant, you're choosing a new pathway. Every time you slide back into old thinking, you simply return to your phrase, I am abundant, and reset your frequency. See the version of yourself who lives in lavish freedom. See the contributions you're making, the lives you're transforming, the joy you feel. You're not just manifesting money, you're embodying purpose on a grand scale. That mental rehearsal shapes your future reality. And then release. Let go of the how, let go of the timeline, let go of the struggle. When you surrender, the field meets you halfway. You plant the seed, water it with your words and emotions, then trust that universal intelligence is orchestrating every detail on the unseen plane. Live as though it's already done. Speak those three words with conviction. Feel them light your cells on fire. Know that every repetition is reshaping your neural network and rippling out into the quantum field. You're not just wishing for 50 million. You're anchoring it into existence from the inside out. Today, you choose to be abundant. Today, you step into the identity of a multimillionaire. Today, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that powerful reality. Everything else is just a detail waiting to fall into place. The power of repetition lies in its ability to rewire the brain and recondition the body into a new state of being. When a thought is repeated enough times with emotion and focused intention, it becomes a belief. That belief then informs decisions, behaviors, and ultimately shapes reality. Repetition is the mechanism through which the mind learns, adapts, and evolves. It is not just a mundane cycle of doing the same thing over and over again. It is the sacred process of aligning your conscious desires with your subconscious programming. Every time you repeat an empowering phrase, visualize a goal, or feel the emotion of your future, you are reinforcing a neural pathway that tells your body a new story. The brain, over time, begins to fire in new ways. Now fire together, wire together, and the old pathways of limitation begin to fade. Repetition is what moves an idea from theory to embodiment. Saying, I am abundant once has no power without the momentum of repetition to back it. But say it every day, say it with emotion, say it while visualizing your future self, and that identity becomes your new normal. The body starts to respond differently, your energy shifts, and the outer world reflects that inner transformation. Repetition overrides doubt. It chips away at resistance and breaks through the noise of old beliefs. With every repetition, you're training your mind to believe in the invisible, in the possibility, and in your own infinite potential. It's how habits are formed, how thoughts become things, and how transformation becomes sustainable. Repetition is not a trick. It's a spiritual technology. It activates neuroplasticity, ignites the quantum field, and bridges the gap between who you are and who you're destined to become. Emotional coherence is the state where your heart and brain are in complete harmony, sending clear, unified signals to the rest of your body and into the quantum field. When your emotions and thoughts are aligned, your entire system operates in balance, creating a powerful state of being that is not only deeply healing, but also profoundly magnetic. In this state, the body begins to respond differently. Stress hormones decrease, immune function improves, and a sense of inner peace emerges. But more importantly, the intentions you project into the field become stronger, clearer, and more likely to manifest. This is because the quantum field responds not to what we think alone, but to how we feel while we think it. If you're thinking abundance but feeling lack, the field receives an incoherent signal and reflects back more of the lack. But if you're thinking abundance and feeling gratitude as if it's already yours, you're radiating a coherent frequency that aligns with the reality you desire. Emotional coherence creates a state of authenticity where you're no longer forcing thoughts to match your desires, but truly living in the emotional state of the outcome. It's not enough to visualize. You must feel the emotions that accompany the outcome as if it's already occurred. Love, gratitude, joy, inspiration. These elevated emotions are the keys to coherence. They elevate your frequency and place you in direct resonance with higher possibilities. Coherence is the language the universe understands. When your inner world is synchronized, your outer world transforms to match it. It's not about faking emotions, but training your body to feel the future before it happens. In doing so, you collapse time, you invite miracles, and you shift from reacting to creating. Emotional coherence is how you become a deliberate, conscious architect of your life. Emotional coherence is the state where your heart and brain are in complete harmony, sending clear, unified signals to the rest of your body and into the quantum field. When your emotions and thoughts are aligned, your entire system operates in balance, creating a powerful state of being that is not only deeply healing, but also profoundly magnetic. In this state, the body begins to respond differently. Stress hormones decrease, immune function improves, and a sense of inner peace emerges. But more importantly, the intentions you project into the field become stronger, clearer, and more likely to manifest. This is because the quantum field responds not to what we think alone, but to how we feel while we think it. If you're thinking abundance but feeling lack, the field receives an incoherent signal and reflects back more of the lack. But if you're thinking abundance and feeling gratitude as if it's already yours, you're radiating a coherent frequency that aligns with the reality you desire. Emotional coherence creates a state of authenticity where you're no longer forcing thoughts to match your desires, but truly living in the emotional state of the outcome. It's not enough to visualize. You must feel the emotions that accompany the outcome as if it's already occurred. Love, gratitude, joy, inspiration. These elevated emotions are the keys to coherence. They elevate your frequency and place you in direct resonance with higher possibilities. Coherence is the language the universe understands. When your inner world is synchronized, your outer world transforms to match it. It's not about faking emotions, but training your body to feel the future before it happens. In doing so, you collapse time, you invite miracles, and you shift from reacting to creating. Emotional coherence is how you become a deliberate, conscious architect of your life. Breaking the habit of being yourself means stepping out of the familiar identity you've been repeating day after day. It means recognizing that your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and choices have been looping in predictable patterns, reinforcing the same personality and creating the same life outcome. When you wake up and immediately recall your problems, react to your environment the same way, feel the same emotions, and think the same thoughts, you're hardwiring your past into your future. To truly change your life, you have to disrupt that loop. You must observe your own programming without judgment and begin making conscious choices that are unfamiliar, but aligned with your desired future. It's not easy because the body becomes addicted to the chemicals of survival, stress, fear, anxiety, and it craves what's predictable. But transformation begins when you challenge those impulses. You become the observer of your thoughts instead of their victim. You interrupt the story you've been telling yourself and start writing a new one. This requires awareness, will, and repetition. Every time you choose a new thought, every time you respond instead of react, every time you feel gratitude instead of worry, you are breaking the habit of who you've been. And in that space between who you were and who you're becoming, real change can happen. The unknown feels uncomfortable, but it's where all possibilities exist. The moment you stop being defined by your past and instead become defined by your vision of the future, you liberate energy trapped in your history and direct it toward creation. You begin to feel, think, and act like the person you want to become long before the evidence shows up. That's how you stop living as a memory and start living as a creator. That's how you break the habit of being yourself. Aligning with the future self means consciously stepping into the version of you who has already achieved what you desire. It's not about waiting for circumstances to change or success to arrive before you feel different. It's about embodying those changes now from the inside out. Your future self already exists in the quantum field as a potential, waiting for you to match its frequency. To align with that version, you must think, feel, and behave as if you are already living that life. This means making choices not from the old identity rooted in lack or limitation, but from the elevated mindset of who you are becoming. When you wake up and begin to feel the emotions of your future, whether it's confidence, joy, abundance, or love, you're tuning your energy to the outcome you want. Your brain begins to fire in new ways, and your body follows, reinforcing that state of being. You are no longer defined by the memory of the past, but by the vision of what's possible. This shift rewrites your neural pathways and creates new habits of thought and behavior. You become a magnet for experiences that reflect your new identity because you are broadcasting a coherent signal into the field. Aligning with your future self also means letting go of everything that contradicts that version: old doubts, toxic habits, disempowering beliefs. You can't live in the vibration of your future while clinging to the emotions of your past. It takes courage to act as if your dreams are already real. But that act of faith is the gateway to manifestation. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions reflect your desired future, the universe has no choice but to mirror that reality back to you. You're not chasing your future, you're becoming it. ChatGPT said, "Surrender to the field is the moment you release control and allow the intelligence of the universe to orchestrate the details of your desires." It's not about giving up, it's about giving in to something greater, trusting that an invisible force far more intelligent than the conscious mind is working behind the scenes on your behalf. When you surrender, you step out of the limited mind that tries to force outcomes and instead align with the energy of flow, grace, and divine timing. The field is always responding to your frequency, not your effort. You can have the clearest intentions, vivid visualizations, and focused affirmations, but if you're still holding on with anxiety or attachment, you're sending mixed signals. True surrender means releasing the need to know how, when, or through whom your manifestation will appear. You become comfortable in the unknown, and that's where magic begins. The unknown is where all possibilities live. By letting go of resistance and trusting the process, you create the energetic space for the unexpected to enter. You move from a state of striving to a state of receiving. This is a powerful shift because receiving requires openness, presence, and faith. In that surrendered state, the body relaxes, the heart opens, and your energy expands. You're no longer vibrating with fear or control. You're vibrating with trust and alignment. You feel whole even before the outcome arrives, and that wholeness becomes a magnet for the very thing you desire. Surrendering is not passive. It's an active alignment with the frequency of creation. It's the bold decision to let the field handle the how while you master the what and why. When you surrender to the field, you allow miracles, synchronicities, and quantum leaps to flow effortlessly into your life. Living in the new state of being means consistently embodying the version of yourself that already exists in the reality you want to create. It's no longer about hoping or waiting for change to come from outside of you. Instead, you make the internal shift first by thinking, feeling, and acting as the person who already has what you desire. This new state becomes your dominant vibration, your new emotional home, and your internal set point. When you live in that elevated state every day, with joy, gratitude, love, or abundance, you condition your body to believe that the future is happening now. And because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one, your body begins to respond in alignment with that imagined future. Your heart rate, your hormones, your brain chemistry all shift to support the new identity you're rehearsing. Over time, this isn't just something you practice, it's who you become. You're no longer looking for change to validate your feelings. Your feelings become the proof of change in advance. This flips the traditional model of cause and effect into one of causing an effect. The moment you maintain that new state of being regardless of your environment, you take command of your reality. The world may try to pull you back into old patterns, but your inner alignment becomes stronger than outer circumstances. You show up differently, make new decisions, and attract experiences that resonate with who you are now, not who you used to be. Living in the new state of being means choosing to feel whole, worthy, and fulfilled in the present moment, without waiting for something external to justify it. In that state, you're not just manifesting your future, you're living it now.